what makes something interesting to listen to? It's very hard to interest everyone, and some people don't like the tone of your voice. Some people don't like the speed. Some people don't like that it's not perfect dialogue. So it's kind of hard to do it any channel because of imperfections and people want everything perfect. Here's something I only realized recently and became aware of. And when became aware of it, I was like, because I do this YouTube channel, and I do it for a reason as well. I do it because I'm going to put my films up soon enough. One of the reasons, right? And I want people to see them. Because you can reach a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people, and it's a great tool for that if you can get people to listen to you. I'm not that gifted in speaking. I know that. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and I'm shadow banned as well because I've mentioned the enemy. Okay, that's a big one. I'm not going to get put up in any kind of like cycle on YouTube or a recommended cycle because I've mentioned the YouTube. And they have a data list of everyone that knows who the enemy is, right? Because they don't like that. They don't like people that are smart enough, that are really kind of like in the right way, not just like a smart arse. People that are intelligent enough to have their brain be fluid, that it can change when it needs to. Most people's brains, they have Christ brains for a start, right? They have these Christ brains, the rabbi brain, I call it, and they can't get out of the mindset, even if it's just something that everyone will have my view in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, that World War II is a lie. What they've told us about World War II is a lie, right? So my brain was fluid to do that. So they don't like all that kind of stuff. But to go back onto the channel and stuff, try and be aware of this. I became aware of this recently, right? And there's loads of great channels on YouTube to do with movie reviews. Some people are brilliant, man. There's one guy in particular. I'll remember his name in a sec because it's not coming to the front of my mind right now. But I'll remember him in a second. There's some great people that do it. Really, really fucking good. What's the name of this guy? Let me just think. Boo, 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 boo. He's a Scottish guy. What's his name? It'll come to me in a minute, right? So I became aware of this. Do you know that a lot, not all of them, but a lot of the things that are on YouTube are AI bots? People doing voice activated AI. Because I was listening to a lot of them. They have a lot of subscribers. They have a lot of people listening to them. They have a lot of revenue because of, especially now with YouTube, because there's just ads all the time and they're way longer than they were before. You can't skip an ad sometimes until about 15, 20 seconds goes by, right? But a lot of these channels are bots. So what they're doing is they have this program, right? And they put in information about a particular movie or this, that, and the other. And they have all these algorithms and different kinds of voices that they can choose. And they run their system that way. And I always thought that these people, because I ain't that smart in loads of areas either, right? I thought they were just great speakers. No, I think a really good speaker is someone who can do something off the cuff. I've tried to do stuff on YouTube where I'm writing down a script, and it never comes off right. It always comes off as controlled and just not right. It doesn't come out just right at all. It comes across as just like an acting performance, and I don't like it. It should be off the cuff. If you're going to speak, you should speak off the cuff. And it's the same in everyday life. If you get called into where you work in the office or something like that, or you have a sticky situation with someone, you're going to want to be able to talk off the cuff with people because life is not a script. It doesn't really have a fucking script. Now, a movie has to have a script because it has to be controlled in a certain way. But I don't think dialogue between people should be controlled because it should have a flow to it that we naturally do have, but our mind gets in the way. Okay? The word I was looking for a minute ago was contrived. Right? It's very contrived when you have an AI bot and you have all this kind of stuff controlling everything. And these people are getting great revenue. And I don't personally want to listen to any of these channels anymore. Because once I'm aware now, I'm aware. I'm looking out for it. Okay, I'm not going to listen to any of these channels now that have AI bots doing it because they're corporate bitches for a fucking start, giving you the lowdown and the very careful wording of certain things in movies and not critiquing in the right way. Like I critique World War II. A bot is not going to do that because they're going to go along and they're going to say, well, Steven Spielberg then went on to his next movie, which he was glad to do because it was Schindler's List and all this crap, right? They're not going to. So everything is becoming more AI on YouTube, right? And I don't like any of that, man. I think that's fucking. I don't want to listen to some fucking robot fucking talking to me. I don't care how profound it even is, because it's not a real human being. It's not a real human creature. You need flaws. You need people that are going to give their honest appraisal of stuff. And if you can't do that, and you have to have a fucking robot doing it, then I ain't going to listen to it. So I become aware of that now, and I'm not going to listen to any of these channels that do that. So I wanted to point that out, because you may have not been aware of that, the same as I wasn't aware of that. That's like, fucking hell, man. What the fuck? It's just a packaged corporate piece of shit. You know? No, I want a human being talking to me. I don't want a fucking robot, dude. Okay, so I thought that was interesting. And there's no review today of any movie. I'm just going to talk like that sometimes. And when I do these reviews, what I'm going to try and do is not work hard in the wrong way. To talk properly, you've got to enter into a flow space. You have to enter into a flow space. Because if you don't, and it doesn't matter if you make a mistake, who cares about that? Mistakes are human. They're supposed to be there. You know, sometimes you'll say a word and you'll say it wrong, or you'll stutter, or you'll, you know, whatever, you know. But this perfect bullshit, when I realized a lot of these were AI, and even some of the guys that try and get everything perfect on some of the channels that are brilliant, I don't even think I agree with that anymore. It's each to their own. Each to their own. I've got 2 views on my last video. They're getting 700,000 views. So maybe they're right, okay? But I personally just don't like it. I want to get someone who has life experience, talks on themselves, and personally for me as well, I'd like to know when I'm listening to people that talk about movies and stuff, have they actually sacrificed and made one? Everyone can have an opinion about everything. I have very rough opinions about certain movies, but I always look at it from a point of view of they worked fucking hard on that movie, dude. I know how hard it is to make a movie. It is incredibly hard. Not even physically, psychologically, it's fucking such a fucking burden to make a movie. And so many things can go wrong, and you're dealing with people that have egos, and they want to go in another direction, and you want them to go where you want them to go because you're directing the movie. Adios for now.